Just call me Pebbles. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I am bringing you a swatch and review on the newest palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it is the Norvina Collection Volume 1 palette. Yay! We gonna talk about this bad boy, so if you're ready, then I'm ready, so let's get started. Before we get started, I do want to say welcome to all of our new family members out there. And in case you're not familiar with me yet, my name is Leah Garrett, and I'm a cruelty-free makeup and beauty reviewer. I'm a makeup enthusiast, a plus-size beauty, and a PNH and ITP fighter. If you'd like to know more about those two diseases, there are videos down below that you can check out. If you want to go straight into these swatches, I am going to put a timestamp right here so you can just bypass all that I'm getting ready to talk about and just go straight into the swatches. I do have a couple things I want to say. First thing, I do want to say that I did try to get this video out on Friday, but this palette came in too late for me to actually get a video filmed and up. So it's going up now. Also, I do want to say thank you for all the love and support that I got for last Tuesday's video. I know it was a really heavy video, and I really do like the fact that you guys, you know, you stand by me and that you appreciate the fact that I am real and honest with you about stuff that's going on in my life. So yeah, I really do love you guys for that. And another thing I want to talk about, it's actually kind of funny. There are a couple of you guys that clock me a lot for wearing black t-shirts, and y'all think it's the same t-shirt when actually it's not. I have like 50 million black t-shirts. Like the t-shirt I have on today, it's a PewDiePie piece of merch. It's his Lil shirt, and it's got the 100 on it because he just reached 100 million subscribers, which that's like huge. I can't even get to 1,100 subscribers, much less a million subscribers. Well, I might actually be at 1,100. I don't know. Whatever it is, what it is. So that's huge for someone to hit 100 million subscribers. I think he's, even though he's technically not the first channel to hit 100 million, he's the first solo YouTuber to hit 100 million. So that is epic. Way to go, PewDiePie. So anyhoodle, let's go ahead and dive into this palette right here. All right, this is the newest release from ABH. It is the Norvina Collection palette. It is volume 1, I do believe she said it was. And a little bit of controversy is surrounding this palette. As you guys know, about a month ago, ABH released the Jackie Aina palette. And it was kind of weird how 3 weeks later, they released this. And it got a lot of people talking, especially myself. I thought, this was just my thought, if you guys saw my Instagram stories, you already know what I'm getting ready to say, that maybe the Jackie Aina palette didn't do as well as ABH thought it was gonna do. So they bumped up the release of this one to help with their sales for the year or for the quarter. I don't know. That's just what I thought. Some other things that are going around is that since ABH has been bought, they're on like a certain time schedule to release stuff so they can make their sales for the year. There's a lot of stuff going on as to why this was released so close after the Jackie Aina palette. I did not purchase the Jackie Aina palette, and let me tell you this right now. It's got nothing to do with Jackie Aina herself. I was just not a fan of the shades. I felt like I had most of the shades already. And I was really iffy on purchasing this one as well. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. But I didn't purchase that palette because I felt like I already had all the shadows in other ABH palettes. Like I said, it has nothing to do with Jackie Aina herself, even though I'm not really her biggest fan, especially after that incident with Petty Page. It just, yeah, she just kind of rubbed me the wrong way after that. But, it just was really weird how this got released so close after Jackie Aina's palette. Like, Jackie didn't have her moment. I felt like she didn't have her moment, because even between the Alyssa Edwards palette and the Jackie Aina palette, I do believe there was like a 3 to 4 month time frame in between the two before the Jackie Aina palette was released. So for this Norvina palette to come out 3 weeks after Jackie's palette was just kind of iffy to me. That's just how I feel about it. I don't know if it was a marketing move, if it was a sales move, I don't know. Either way, we're going to talk about this bad boy today. Okay, so they technically call this, or officially call this, the Norvina Pro Pigment Palette Volume 1. I'm going to tell you right now, you can use this as a weapon if you wanted to, because it is like super, super heavy. This is what she looks like out of the box. You also do get a little piece of paper right here that talks about which shades are pressed pigments and are not really intended for the eye area. We'll talk about that in a second. And this is what she looks like on the inside. You do get this plastic piece. You do get a nice size mirror. Hey guys. I mean, the mirror takes up most of the palette, well, all of the palette space at the top, but this is what it looks like on the inside. You have 25 shadows in this one, as opposed to the, I think it's 14 they put in their regular palettes. And you have a combination of mattes, metallics, and there are a couple of glittery shades in there as well. I did use this palette for my eye look today. I will show you footage on how I did this eye look with this palette. Now, I said before that I was really iffy on buying this, and let me tell you why. Because from here on up, I feel like I have these shades already. I think this palette would have been better received if it was just these 2 rows right here. And maybe a couple of these shades right here. Maybe. But these 2 bottom rows are really what sold me on this palette. I think if it was just a palette just with these 2 colors, it would have been amazing. I think everybody would have liked it better, because you have all these purples and these pinks in here that are in other palettes of theirs, especially the original Norvina palette. Yes, we know, Norvina, that purple is your color. We know that, okay? We don't need 50 shades of purple when we already have 20 of them. I'm just saying. So, the only shades I used out of these top 3 rows is this shade right here. Everything else I used in this bottom row, because what I was noticing with people making their looks with this palette, they were using, it's hard to open. They were using the purples and the pinks and maybe the blues. And I just wanted to try something different. So I went with a yellow golden little red moment down here. I popped some glitter on. She did not name these shades. If you look closely, you can see that they have a letter and a number. So this is row A, B, C, D, and E, and then it goes 1 through 5, which I think is really good, because as you guys know, when I put down in the description bar what shades I use for palettes that don't have names, I always just use numbers anyways. So that's a little bit better than just using regular numbers. Now, let's go ahead and start swatching this bad boy. All right, we are going to go ahead and start with the A row. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. According to this piece of paper right here, a 2, 3, and 5 are pressed pigments, and they are not intended for use around the immediate eye area, meaning that they don't have, you know, the extra ingredients and binders, that a regular eyeshadow will have. So they might cause staining. That's why they say it's not intended for use around the immediate eye area. You can still use it, just be warned that staining may occur. So let's go ahead and swatch these. I do have to say they are super, super soft. This is A1 through A4 on my fingers. No primer on my hand as always. All right, A2 looks a little patchy, just swatching it. A3 does a little bit. A1 is a really pretty shade. And I do believe I have seen A4 in Soft Glam, if I'm not mistaken. I think Soft Glam has a shadow like that. That is what A2 and A3 look like blended out. As you see, A2 is still a little patchy, even though it's blended out a little bit. A3 is a little bit better, so you might have to work with these two in order for them to work. There is a lot of kick up in this palette. I do have to warn you about that. Now I'm going to go ahead and swatch A5. That's what it looks like on my finger. That's what it looks like on my hand. It is a little bit patchy. Swatch it on my hand. See if it blends out. It actually blends out pretty nice. Alrighty, let's go ahead and swatch the B row. On this piece of paper, it says B1, 3, 4, and 5 are the shades not intended for use around the immediate eye area. That's what they look like on my finger. This is B1, B2, B3, and B4. I will say that the pigmentation on these is really, really good. So you are going to have to go in with a light hand, especially with these bright purples and pinks. Go in with a light hand and build it up, because it's always easier to build up than to take away. Let's see how these blend. Not too bad. I was expecting this to be more patchy than what it is. And, ooh, B4 got a lot of kickback all in my palette. And B3 is really glittery. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it does have a lot of glitter in it. So this is probably one of those shades where you're going to have to use like a really wet brush or your finger to apply it onto your lids. Okay, now we're going to go into B5. B5 looks like it does have a little bit of glitter in it, so it's not a complete matte. That's what it looks like on my finger. That one's swatched a little bit patchy. Let's see if we can blend it. I don't know about this one. Even though it does have a little bit of glitter in it, it looks like as you blend it out, that glitter is going to go away. All right, let's go ahead and start with the C row. We have C1, C2, C3, C4, and C5. I did use C2 today on my lid before I put a little bit of glitter down from Zombie Girl Cosmetics. And on the paper, it says C4 and C5 are the ones not intended for around the immediate eye area. All right, this is C1, C2, C3, and C4. With C2, I did have to apply this with my finger, because if I used just a dry brush, it wasn't doing much. Even when I wet it, it wasn't really doing much either, so I ended up going in with my finger to make it more intense. C3 is really chunky. But that white is amazing. C2 does have a lot of glitter in it, so you are going to have to be aware of that. Which when you see, when I show you the footage, you'll see why it really didn't show up on the brush. It shows great up on the swatch, but on a brush, a dry brush, it didn't really do much. C4 blended out pretty nice. And the last shade, a lot of kickback, just be warned of that. Last shade we have is C5. That's what it looks like. It's a really pretty color. Does swatch a little bit patchy, but we will see how she blends out. She blends okay. This one just looks like it just wants to stay, as you can see right there. Next up, we have the D row. We have D1, D2, D3, D4, and D5. I did use D1 as a transition shade, and I did use D3 on my lower lash line. And it says that D2, 3, 4, and 5 are not intended for use around the immediate eye area. And I put red on my lower lash line. So I might have a little bit of staining on my lower lash line, but it's to be expected. I really like how D2 shifts. That's pretty neat. These ones look amazing. I know D1 really blended out really well. Ooh, pardon D4, it's a little messy. It's one of those shades, kind of like B5, where when you blend it, that glitter's probably going to go away. And lastly, in the D row, we have D5, which is this matte black. I really don't like matte blacks in palettes, especially pressed pigment mattes, or pressed pigment matte blacks. Let's blend it out. Blends out pretty nice. Okay, now we have the last row. We have E1, E2, E3, E4, and E5. I used E2 on my lower lash line to diffuse some of D3, and I used E3 all over my lid and into my crease. That is what they look like. Ooh, I really like E1. That is really pretty. Okay, E2 kind of swatched a little patchy, and so did E3. E3 did take a little bit of time to build up and blend out, but once I got the rhythm of it, it did work really well. That's what they look like blended out. E1 is really pretty. I really do like that color. The last shade we have is E5. This one, it kind of looks like C5, where it just wants to stay as you blend it. See what I mean? Okay, I'm going to clean off my hand and show you guys the footage of me making this eye look with this palette, and I will be right back with my pricing, with my final thoughts and some pricing. Alrighty, that was the footage of me making this eye look with this palette. Now let's go ahead and talk about my final thoughts. Do I think this is a palette that you absolutely need? No. Unless you don't have, past ABH palettes, I do see you getting it. But if you have past ABH palettes, I don't think that this is a necessity. Like I said, the only reason I bought this was for these last 2 rows. And yeah, the pigmentation is insane and they work really good, but my fingers are stained, of course, because you gotta have to deal with that. My fingers are stained, my hand is stained. But just these first 3 rows, I just feel like I have these shades already in other palettes. If you want me to compare shades in the other palettes that I do have, just let me know down in the description bar. I'll be more than happy to do that. I do have Modern Ren, Subculture, Prism, the first Norvina palette, Riviera, and Soft Glam. I feel like there's another one that I'm missing, but I do have quite a bit of them. And I just think with those in this top half of the palette, it's just redundant, it's repetitive. If these 2 rows plus maybe a couple extra shades that they don't have, I think it would have been a lot better. But the pan size is really large. It's larger than their regular pan size. I think they call it a deluxe pan size, if I'm not mistaken. What's it say on the back of the box? Yeah, 25 deluxe sized high performance shades for professional grade artistry with maximum payoff. That's a lot. That's a lot to say. That's a lot to try to sell this palette with. But yeah, if you have other ABH palettes, I don't see you absolutely needing this, especially because this bad boy is $60. Yeah, 60 bucks. You can get it at Ulta, Sephora, on ABH's website, and on Beautylish. Not sure if it's on Beauty Bay though. My overseas family members, please let me know down in the comments below if it is on Beauty Bay. That is all that I have for you guys today. Don't forget to pick up my glitter palette with Texas House of Glitters. We all know she is super pretty because she looks like this. If you want to get on the glitter goodness that is Hubster, Mama, Sassy Pants, and Bat Squad, you are going to have to pick this bad boy up because these shades are exclusive to this palette only. I do have a discount code that you can save 15% not only on this palette but anything from Texas House of Glitters, and it is right here at the bottom of the screen. I do not earn any money at all whatsoever with this discount code. It is just there for you guys to save some money. And as always, you can follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/MelissaLeahGarrett, on Snapchat as MelissaLeah1223, and on Instagram as MelissaLeahGarrett. Come on over. We have fun on those pages as well. I do not, however, have a Twitter account, so if you see one with my face and this gorgeous smile, report it because it's fake. Also, if that subscribe button is red, it's the wrong color. You need to change it. And don't forget to share this channel to everyone as well. While you're at it, go ahead and hit that notification bell. Therefore, you know when I'm posting, even though we mainly know I post on Tuesdays and Fridays. I love you all so much, and I will see you on Friday. Bye. My under eyes are gonna be stained. Like I was cleaning up a crime scene with this makeup white. Will you stop? Newest palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it is it's upside down.